Bonjour, my name is Marion. Are you ready to create a three-dimensional heart for someone you love? And on top of being three-dimensional, it is also a mixed media project where you will use watercolor paint, acrylic paint, markers, glue, cardboard, and paper. Are you ready? Here is the material you will need for this project. Watercolor paper. I used a 9 by 12 paper for this project. You will need also drawing paper, cardboard, watercolor paint, acrylic paint, paper towel and water, a container lid for the palette, Sharpie and scissors, Modpodge or Elmer's glue, round and flat brushes, and a pencil and a ruler. The first step is to prepare the painted triangles that will make up the mosaic of the heart. And we need to do that as soon as possible to give it enough time to dry. Let's start by dividing a piece of drawing or watercolor paper into 6 rows of equal width using a ruler and a pencil. We are now going to paint these rows with acrylic paint and let them dry. For my palette, I used a white container lid on which I put some red, blue, yellow, green, and gray acrylic paint. I also have a brush, water, and paper towel. Paint each row with one of the colors and leave one row white. When you are done, put this paper on the side so it can dry. Now we can start painting the background. Using a pencil and a ruler, draw lines on your piece of watercolor paper. As a reminder, my paper is 9 by 12 inch. This will be a mix of triangles and rectangles. In this example, I drew the lines randomly, but you can create a regular grid too. This will also look great. Then outline your lines with a Sharpie. I used a black Sharpie, but you can use a colored Sharpie too. Feel free to make the lines as thin or as thick as you want them to be. Et voilà! Your background is ready to be painted with watercolor paint. I decided to go with a primary color scheme plus green. Do you know what the primary colors are? They are blue, red, yellow, but in my opinion, green is also a primary color. Don't you think so? It is everywhere in nature. For my palette, I used a white container lid, 2 brushes, a paper towel, and water. To start painting the background, I decided to wet my paper first with water because I want to do some fun effects later. But you don't have to do that. You can paint right away on dry paper. Et voilà! What about those effects I was telling you about? Using a round brush, I added some extra layers of watercolor to form darker shapes inside each rectangle. I like the look of it, don't you? While we wait for the paint to dry, we can prepare our heart. Take a piece of regular paper and fold it in 2. Then draw half of a heart. And using your scissors, cut the outline. Open your heart. Ha ha ha. That's a good joke. And you can see that you have just drawn a perfectly symmetric heart. Now, it is time to outline the shape of the heart onto your cardboard. Here, I used white cardboard, but anything would work. I used a black Sharpie to outline the heart, and then I cut it out. Make sure you keep the leftovers cardboard, since we will use some of it to make our heart 3D later. Once I had my cardboard heart, I also decided to outline the heart shape with a thick layer of black Sharpie. Now it is time to go back to the first piece of paper that you painted, the one with the 6 rows of different colors. You remember? Hopefully it is now dry and you can cut out each rows of color. To create the effect of the mosaic, cut triangles of different sizes within each row. Here you can see that I cut out a few triangles of each color and started placing them over my heart without gluing them. This gave me an idea of how many triangles I would need to cover the cardboard heart. When you think you have enough mosaic shapes, pour some Modpodge or Elmer's glue into a small container and have a flat brush ready to use, as well as some paper towel and water. Time to glue! Have fun arranging your small colored triangles on the heart shape, and don't forget to put glue above and under the triangles. I repeat, you need to put glue on both sides of the triangles and cover their entire surface in glue. Don't worry if your glue is white, it will dry transparent. As you have noticed, I did not use my band of white paper. This is because my background is white. But if you have a different background, you will be happy to use some white shapes. When you are done, do not forget to clean up your brushes. While you wait for your heart mosaic to dry, cut 9 squares into the cardboard you have left over from cutting your heart. The squares should be a bit smaller than 1 inch by 1 inch. Stack 3 squares to form a small tower. Glue them together and repeat with the other 6 squares. You will end up with 3 towers of cardboard. This is what you will glue to the back of your heart shape. Finally, you can glue your mini towers to your background. You will need a lot of glue. Do not forget to add pressure for a few minutes so that your shapes will hold. Et voilà! Don't forget that the higher your heart shape will be from your background, the more shadow you will get and the more 3D effects you will achieve. Finally, add a frame around your beautiful design to make it look like a finished artwork and give it to someone you love. I hope you enjoyed that project and thank you for watching. See you at the next video. Bye bye!